It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
Not far east from the unmistakable buildings of the nation's capital, we've got a building that's also unmistakable in sight, but bears a new name. Welcome to Northwest Stadium here in Landover, Maryland. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard, and we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. And we're off and running from Landover. Fielded at the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jayden Daniels.
Jayden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP, Jayden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC, and he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And, man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL.
It's enough for a first down. Nice find by the rookie quarterback from LSU.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Daniels on first down. Has a man, it's Ertz. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Tackle made by Ernest Jones.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Ertz reels it in. And they make the tackle at the 38. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
New set of downs for him at the 38. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Into the hands of Terry McLaurin. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the gun, it's Daniels. Running right side by McLaurin. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. They get 13 on the pickup. And the Commanders will have a first.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. He's got it! And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And with 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
2nd and 3 now. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, you can scratch that one from the playbook, and you're not going to call it again if you can't impact the D-tackle. You just saw him sitting right there. He was ready for a feast, and he buried that draw before it could get started.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Has it on the slant. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. 1st and goal. They bring McLaurin in motion right. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No gain for them, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
Another chance to get that lone yard. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Daniels off the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Daniels. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
Such a promising drive and just a couple snaps ago, but now back-to-back sacks, drop backwards, and this field goal's, well, it's not a gimme anymore. Gotta hope you can knock it through and salvage some points out of a series that went so wrong.
On comes Austin Seibert and the Commanders' field goal unit to try this on 4th down. It's a 36-yard look from the left hash. Piniero's kick is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. So now it's the Seahawks' turn to take the field for the first time. They're led out by someone amidst their 2nd act as an NFL QB. He was a 2nd-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Connection made to Smith and Jigba. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Frankie Louvu there for the tackle. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Handoff to Walker from the gun. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused. And they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a 4th down.
Fourth down punt from the Seahawks. And that means we're going to see Michael Dixon head on to send it skyward. Fair catch called for and made just outside the 20. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Commanders will go on offense. Back out run the Commanders for their 2nd drive of the game. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Throwing now, Daniels. Escapes the pocket. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And he evades any kind of trouble, but only a short gain to show for it after sliding down.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
Daniels throwing on 3rd. That's caught for the 1st. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Daniels from the pistol. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Only a solitary field goal so far as we're through 1 quarter. Just 3-0 is our score. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Time now for the 2nd quarter. Commanders in possession. They have 2nd down behind the sticks. Another try following the sack. Again, he's under pressure, and he goes down. And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets him up with a 3rd down.
Yeah, this is one of the occasions, Kate, where this defense got to just keep chopping wood. Keep chopping wood. I know they're a little more careful about actually having axes in locker rooms anymore after injuries, but the mantra is the same. You can't look at the scoreboard nor worry about what your offense is doing. You got to keep punishing your opponent.
3rd and long for him here. He smartly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Commanders punting on 4th down, and they're going to bring out the ever-reliable lefty vets, Tressway. And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. No return on that punt. And it'll be Seahawks football. So Seattle retakes the field for their 2nd series. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening 1st down as they take the field a 2nd time. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. Complete to DK Metcalf. Would have liked to have kept that big play, but the officials and penalties say no, and it's got to come back. Here's Walker running right. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Hauled down by Dorrance Armstrong.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Man in motion out of the slot. 2nd and 13. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker. And that will not be enough for a first down.
You know, quarterbacks aren't always the one dishing out punishment, but when they take it and they deliver a frozen rope, when they deliver a ball right on target just like that, and the respect factor grows 100-fold with your teammates.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Delivered to the sideline. Smith-Njigba brings it in. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Throwing is Smith. That one's caught along the left sideline. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line. It's a 21-yard gain. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
First down, Smith to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So second down coming up. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. And they just did.
They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They go play action. Here's Smith. Flushed out of the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
I love a good bootleg just like every other quarterback does. And bootlegs are most effective, Kate, when you're running it first and you deceive that defense. But if you're not running it, or it's a poor fake, or you got a defense that is sound, or you have the opportunity to get hit in the face in less than 2 seconds, just like that.
All right, here we go. Second down. Walker now from the gun. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. Give him only a couple that time. It's going to be third down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Throwing on third, Smith. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. Give him 13 on that play. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
Walker on first down. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
Hey, these are the type of games he's counted on to get when they're available. Unfortunately, we had tremendous vision to see the seam and get through it before that window could close.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Walker has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
Trying again, Walker. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire 1st half. They drop him behind the line.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now it's decision time on 4th and goal.
Oh, that is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make an impact later.
Here's Charbonnet. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And he will not get there. They stop him on 4th and goal. What a stand to force that turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, it's almost like the defense was in the offensive huddle before the play. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And the reward is they get off the field.
Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. This, the snap that's going to take us inside the 2-minute warning. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he has a gain of 4 on the run, which runs us up to the 2-minute warning. Second and 6 coming up here. Daniels back to throw. He gets this one to McLaurin. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Daniels. He's on the move. He's stepping up and takes off with this one. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a 1st. They get 13 on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Washington 1st.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Big catch is made, and he got the feet in too. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Commanders will have a 1st.
Hey, this is one of those situations where, Kate, even as a former QB, I really feel for these corners in this league. They got the hardest job in football, sticking the guys on these routes and on a comebacker in particular, where that receiver breaks it off. Man, that can be so difficult to defend.
Daniels on 1st down. That's brought in by Luke McCaffrey. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. The Commanders take a timeout. They're 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Second and 3 now. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Bails out of the pocket quick. And he slides down with enough to pick up that 1st. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. This is hauled in by McLaurin. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Washington calls it second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This ball's caught by McCaffrey. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. They get an even 10 on that play. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, Washington. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Austin Seibert on to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders make it a 10-point ball game. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. Return starts from the goal line. He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. It's halftime from near the nation's capital. The Commanders pulling in front after 2. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. Returning it from the 4. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Seahawks sending their offense out to begin the third quarter. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. They're out and set, 1st and 10. First play of the drive, here's Walker. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Well, no springing a big play on that one. It's just going to simply be used as a setup play, whether that's another run or eventually what I love, setting up a play-action pass off that counter action.
Shotgun snap to Smith. Connection made to Smith and Jigba. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Commanders with an extra DB out there to defend this third down. Throwing now, off play action. Walker hauls it in.
Whether they meant to go to him or it was an adjustment on the fly, that's not the read that was going to beat this defense for a first down. That look, well, this crew defensively was prepared for it and knew how to keep it short of the marker.
Seahawks bringing out the punt team. And this will be his second effort of the contest. Got 44 yards on his first kick, Brock, and this one looks to be longer. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. So no return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. The Washington offense getting set for its next possession. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Daniels. Got a man. McCaffrey has it. They'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop.
How's your block shedding out there, boys? Because they need to get through some blocks to hang that screen up quickly. And they were Johnny on the spot.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Play fake here. Daniels lays out left side and gets it. Give him 13 on that play. And the Commanders will have a 1st.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage, he gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
On 1st down, here's Daniels. Completed here to McCaffrey. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
So critical, Kate, on those receiver screens to get that ball out with great precision. You don't want that receiver thinking about anything but navigating the blocks in front of him. That's well done by everybody.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Again, Daniels to the air. Finds his target, Robinson. Ooh, play didn't develop like he needed. He goes out behind the line.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Throwing now, Daniels. And this goes across midfield and into Seahawks territory.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Running back sent in motion. Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that'll be good for a Washington 1st.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
1st and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Has a man. It's Brown. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. They'll get 18 yards there. And the Commanders will have a 1st.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Robinson. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Tackle made by Jaron Reed. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Staying with Robinson. Big gap up the middle. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
First down from the red zone. And he will score. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders push their lead further to start the half. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Seibert tacks on the point after. And the Commanders take a 3-possession lead. It's all lined up. Seibert now ready to send this flying. He fields it from the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Seahawks offense running out now. And things starting to get a little out of hand for him, Brock. That last score made it 17-zip. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now an inside give to Walker. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Running with Walker again. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. From the gun, Smith. Into the hands of Tyler Lockett. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. They give up the gut to Walker. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. It's a gain of 12 there. And it sets up Seattle with 1st down.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
Toss play. This is Walker. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
They go play action. Here's Smith. pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up. This is the end of the third quarter. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the fourth quarter. And for the Commanders, a 5th defensive back out there. They're going nickel on third down. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
Myers' kick is good. And the gap closes to 14 points.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Commanders and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. A toss now to Robinson. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Out of the gun, Daniels. It's caught, Eckler. And defenders arriving in support to finish him off at the line.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of your eligible receivers. That time, a running back in the flat.
Daniels throwing on 3rd. Hits his running back. And he crosses his sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
The Commanders ready for the punt. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Call that punt a 52-yard effort. And they'll get ready to go on offense. The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. It's Walker on the give. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 36. Couldn't bring it in over the middle. Incomplete.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. That's caught for the first. They get 22 on that one. And the Seahawks will have a first down.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Smith. Finds Smith and Jigba. And they bring him down around the 34.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
On the draw, it's Walker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
First and 10 now from the 30. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there.
That's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage waiting for it. They were thinking interception for a second, and incompletion is still pretty good, too.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Tight end going in motion here. Second and 10. Again, it's Smith. And the coverage just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. Third down coming up. Handoff to Walker from the gun. And defenders continue to swarm over to get him at the line. No gain on that play, and now they're looking at 4th and 10.
Don't laugh at me, Kate. I almost wish there was an actual white flag on either sideline we could see waving in this spot, because that was an easy mop-up for the defense to force 4th and long.
They still need 10, but the offense getting set on 4th down. Shotgun snap to Smith. And they won't do it. That falls incomplete on 4th down.
I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
First and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Daniels. He gets this one to McLaurin. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Robinson on the inside give. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. A 4-yard pickup, and they're just inches shy as we reach 3rd down.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on a 3rd and short.
3rd and short, Daniels. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They gain 14 on the play. And the Commanders will have a 1st.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page, because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in D.C. Commanders nearing a win here with a 14-point lead. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Another carry for Robinson. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. First carry now for Austin Eckler. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the 1st. With 1:54 remaining, the defense burns a timeout. Only need the length of the football. It's 4th and inches. From the gun, it's Daniels. He connects downfield on 4th. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. Now the Seahawks are going to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the 1st. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
2nd down. Probably going to see him kneel it again here. On 2nd down, Robinson. And he's able to get this down to the 13. 6 yards the pickup there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
On comes Austin Seibert and the Commanders' field goal unit to try this on 4th down. This is going to be a 31-yarder from the right hash. His kick is good at the ends, but boy, Brock, we might see some words exchanged at midfield here as they add 3 to the win as time expires. So score this as a win for the Commanders. And it was a maestro of a performance defensively, limiting them to only 1 field goal. Playing shutdown football like that, Brock, it is no surprise they came away with the win. And I think you'd agree, we see some more lockdown football in their future. With Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Commanders. As with that, we sign off.